The disenchanted mob craves so much to feel strong, certain it has wild and waited much too long, to see the day that they will have the final enduring say, with no one claiming to know better, standing in their way. Enough of the experts and of all the scholars, know-it-alls, naysayers, endless fault finders, with big words, strange code, and their long theses, but little to offer that satisfies and pleases. The mob has found a man, he makes them feel heard, knows their deep desires, lets them feel they're not absurd. He tells them that they're faultless, they're the chosen ones, and all of that which ails them must be will be undone. The other always slyly has wronged them and has robbed them, but he has their back now and will never try to stop them. Stop he will the pesky scholars and those silly givers of kindness. Under his protection now, no act of theirs will be too mindless. They're out to reclaim something they're not entirely sure, that once was theirs and theirs alone, precious, powerful, and pure. The man told tales of grandeur never heard before. They care no more for worldly matters, they'll do the stuff of lore. They tell each other fantastic tales of prowess and past glory, and with each telling the present dismays, fueling a quiet fury. Redress becomes a burning need and truth a useless burden. They march out onto the streets as one to teach the other a lesson. They mock, they slander remorselessly, they beat, they rape and kill. At war at last with the hated other, the man could mean no ill. He knows he has their bottomless trust, and so he takes their money, and with that money he buys the greedy to squash all scrutiny. With an accomplice as fine as our man, the greedy wallow in such delight. The man knows he can, as no other, hide most comfortably in plain sight. Do as he pleases, breaking promises, the mob would never mind him. The mob's too dazed to find a fault, and the greedy firmly behind him. A once peaceful nation it was that dared to be home to all, of humble, thoughtful people who cared and planned for the longer haul, turned so swiftly in 7 years to hideous, craven, inhuman wretches, by scheming crooks masquerading as prophets for their own mercurial profits. Every day brings news now of increasingly medieval gore, of bullying, lies, and cruelty, and undeclared unholy war. On the despised, the hapless other, whose lives could matter no more, and the few good ones who boldly try to awaken the nation's dying Moors. Old heroes disparaged daily, lifelong legacies rubbished, history rewritten to flatter, tales invented and burnished. The wise, the kind, the most distinguished are disciplined and restrained, while scoundrels, cheats, and murderers enjoy a free, rewarding reign. But any power that exists solely to get more power feeds on greed and thrives on ever-growing disorder. And so the fabled once glorious nation fell and further fell, to worse hunger than in 40 years from the world's most wholesome spell. Because greed can never truly reach a fulfilled end, unscrupled and unsated, it devours both foe and friend. The nation's farmer got poorer, pled helplessly and cried, to fend off the rapacious greedy, as justice remained denied. The greedy there but to the old man most dear, plebeian pleas fall to die on wilfully deaf ears. The old man continued to boast and to preen, growing bolder in the use of all his smoke screens. Tragic illness struck the world, the nation thankfully spared. The man waited long and then, with considerable fanfare, shut down the nation, every home, every shop and office. Over 1 billion lives frozen on a whimsical 4-hour notice. The poor without their day jobs could find no food or shelter, so they packed their few belongings and then ran helter-skelter, braving police brutality, illness, hunger, and exhaustion. Hundreds of miles they had to walk, seeking solace and salvation. But this was no longer a nation for the weak and the needy. The man was busy with spectacles for the well-fed and the greedy, defaming others trapped in a sudden change of circumstance, while boasting to the world of his own outstanding performance. But the boast was premature. It was only a matter of time before illness engulfed the nation and extracted its price, in the form of several hundreds of thousands of innocent lives, orphan children to 100 millions under the poverty line. How much longer still until the nation sees that imagined glory never can an adequate substitute be for a firm and grounded natural sense of reality, tempered with love and kindness and humanity? How much longer till the mob will take a pause and admit that it has indeed been had by a cheap and dirty trick, that there's still much work to do, a giant mess to clean? Pride and glory must be earned with a heart that's more serene. Will we awake soon enough from this devastating slumber before we forget that there exist many better ways out yonder? Before we condemn forever our children to atone for our sins, and worst of all, deny ourselves the true glory we hold within?